Welcome to this week's edition of the podcast of the Working Girl. And this week I would like to talk about the confidence code for the working girl. So many years ago, my cousin's daughter, who I describe as my niece, was about 7 years old, and I had gone to their house, for a visit. And then, I asked of her, and they said she was outside in the garden or in the estate, playing with a couple of children. So I walked up there to go say hello to her, and I found she was in the middle of activities. So I stood on the side, to just watch this little girl. And, she was saying to everyone, organizing everyone to play a game. She was like, you, get into the line. Let's get go, arranging everyone. Then she turned and looked at me, and then she says, so what are you doing there? Join them in the line. And, I was quite startled, but I think it was, my close-up experience with confidence, with a little one. And I think it's where I'd like to start from today, to say that, confidence isn't always about how you look and how you talk. Confidence really, it's about action, and it is specifically what you do. I saw a research, that said that up until the age of 8, that boys and girls have the same level of confidence, and after 8 years old, confidence for females begin to taper. And, some of the reasons given were that females, internalize a lot, live in their heads, and a couple of other things. But most importantly, that guys were more risk takers, than females. So today I'd like to share with you a few codes, to take in order to increase your confidence as a working girl. Obviously, the first thing that I'd like to say is to take risks. So critical. It is in taking risks, that you improve your confidence. Now, I'm not saying, plunge into the deep end of the pool. You can start by taking small bites, of risk, and then you increase the risk as you go on. And, I think that when you take risk, you would fail. And therefore, the second thought, in building your confidence is to learn from your failure. I've seen a quote that says that he hasn't failed, he who hasn't tried at all. So obviously, it's people who do things and take action, who fail. But it's so important, that we each learn from our failure. And it's in learning that our confidence is increased. And, the third thing is, remember what I said about females, living more in their heads. So it's to think about what you are thinking about, and, think about what you're thinking about. Are you always spewing, disabling or disenabling thoughts, towards yourself? And the reason I say think about what you're thinking about is so that you are able to stop those thoughts and self-correct. And in self-correcting, I say to people, reject perfectionism. That always, it's almost like you're chasing an unending goal. So you get here, it's not enough, it needs to be better, you get there, and again, what you're doing is disempowering yourself. One of the ways in which I personally build confidence is to find confidence role models. And I think that when we look around, you would find that there are women who have done the things that we're wanting to do. And I particularly say that women who have lost elections are amazing confidence mentors or role models. I say so because what they've done is put themselves out there, and sometimes even before they put themselves out there, they're quite aware of how tough it is and how much resistance they would face. But nonetheless, they put themselves out there. They're public speaking, they're self-selling, they're selling objectives, selling visions, and in the end they lose. But again, even with the losses, they carry on, back again, with their lives. And I find that women who lose elections are quite similar also to women in Silicon Valley, which is obviously a heavily male-dominated, innovative center. And, they're trying to innovate, is not working, it falls flat, they get up again, and then keep going. Look, I think that part of the last two things I'd like to say to you is, don't overthink yourself and don't overthink it. I find that a lot of times people think that people are thinking about them, and that often causes, them to falter, to lose confidence. But the truth is, I say that all the time, that people are embroiled in their own personal challenges. I don't lie down thinking about, someone else, and people are not constantly, thinking about your own failures. And I think that whilst you are building confidence, it's important that you avoid the trap of comparison. I say that all the time. And if you haven't listened to the podcast on comparison, please find it, in the library. You've got to stop my horse is bigger than yours, my puppy is fatter than yours, or, my dog is taller than yours. What constant comparison does for you is it's debilitating, and, it puts you sometimes I suppose one of the unintended, outcomes is you are chasing perfectionism, never quite satisfied with your own accomplishment. And, the last thing I'm going to say to you, really only because I'm going to have a wrap-up video, is to say, don't ask for permission. Take it. Just don't ask for permission to be. Don't ask for permission to get going. Don't ask for permission to achieve. Just take the permission and get going. So I'm going to ask that you have a great week on purpose. And this week's, conversations, career conversations with the working girl, the short clip videos on Instagram, I'm going to continue the conversations on confidence building. Cheers. Bye.